So you've just launched your new website. It's a couple of weeks later, you're still not getting any leads, any traffic or any inquiries from it. One of the most frustrating things that can happen after you spent all that effort and time investing in your new website. But don't worry, it's incredibly common. In fact, it's one of the most common questions that I get asked. So I'm going to explain to you in this video why that happens and why your website isn't getting found on Google and what you can do about it to resolve that issue. So first, we're going to need a very brief explanation of how Google works so you can understand how it's ranking your site and why you're not appearing. So if we go onto Google and we type in any kind of search term, here's an example, I've just typed a kitchen, you'll see that Google brings up a list of results. Now what Google is trying to do here is present a list of results to you that matches your intent. Now because my search intent is so vague, a kitchen, it doesn't really know what we want here. It's presenting us with images of kitchens, it's presenting us with kitchen fitters near me, it's presenting me with kitchen manufacturers, guides about what kitchen is, how to plan a kitchen. It just doesn't know what we want. So if we were to type in something more specific like kitchen fitters near me, you'll see Google will adjust its listings and show you, now it's showing us only kitchen fitters or comparisons of kitchen fitters. It wants to present you with the best results for what you've typed in. Now you'll see here on the Google listings page, the first listings that come up are ads. These are paid traffic. The second listing is map listings, which is local search. After that, you'll find the organic listings, which is what we're talking about today. Google is guessing that what we want is a kitchen fitter and what we want to do is compare kitchen fitters. It's presenting us with directories of kitchen fitters that we can make a choice from. Now, when you submit your website to Google to be crawled, it's going to take your website and put you in a rank somewhere in that list of where your website should appear compared to the competition. The tricky part is that obviously your website is new, you're competing against all these other results that have been up there for ages, and all of these people want to sell kitchens. Basically what we need to do is tell Google that your website's more important, you should show your results first when someone's searching for a kitchen fitter. So the first reason that your website isn't getting found on Google, if it's only a couple of weeks after launch, it's very simple, it's just too soon. Google is a huge beast and it takes time to crawl all the websites that get submitted to its search index. If you're only a couple of weeks after launch, it's likely that Google hasn't even got round to crawling your site, and so that's why it's not appearing on the rankings yet. If your website has been launched for longer than that, or if it's already an established website and it's not getting traffic, let's look at some of the reasons why your website might not be ranking. Whether it's been up there for 3 weeks or 3 years, Google is trying to match a user search to a search intent. Now, if your website doesn't have the right content, then Google doesn't know that that your website is a good match for that search. So we're going to look at examples. If someone is looking for kitchen fitters near me, Google knows that they are looking for someone to supply a kitchen to them. So here's an example of a result from Google, and you'll see the first thing you'll see on the website. Sorry, by the way, PJTC kitchens, just calling it how it is. If you want any help, feel free to get in touch. But kitchen installations in Glasgow, Bearsden, Milngavie. So Google immediately knows that this website is about kitchen installers in Glasgow, Bearsden and Milngavie. It's as simple as that. You can see scrolling down the website they've got a decent amount of content that relates to that. You'll see keywords such as Bearsden, Eastern Bartonshire, Milngavie, Greater Glasgow, new kitchen, qualified kitchen fitter. All of that is telling Google that this is a good website to show if someone is searching for kitchen fitters. If your website isn't coming up for search terms that people are typing in, then the problem could be that your website doesn't have content that's relevant to the search term. You see it all the time on, especially on kind of arty-farty websites where people put nice headings that really sell their business and are quite artistic. However, they don't tell Google, who's basically a robot, what their business does. That's a huge mistake. There are ways to do it on your website where you can have a heading for Google to read, which is de-emphasised in terms of the styling, and then a more arty-farty header for users to read, which Google knows isn't as important. So I would look at your content first if you're not ranking to see that your content's relevant for the search terms. So that takes us on to number 3, reason why you might not be appearing on Google. So you might have a really good website, it might look stunning, it might even have the right content, but there is a third part to it of why you might not be appearing on Google despite all of that. PJTC, sorry I'm using you as an example, but feel free to get in touch if you want any free advice on how to remedy this. But see, it is actually ranking for some good keywords such as Fit Kitchen Glasgow, best kitchen fitters near me, And you can see the volume of these. Now, this search is per month, 210, 70, 140. However, look at the estimated visits per month. They're not really getting any visits from these keywords. And the reason for that is their position. They're way down the Google rankings on page 3, 4, 5, 8. And because of that, they say the best place to bury a dead body is on page 2 of Google. If you're not on page 1 of Google, your site traffic just drops off a cliff because hardly anyone clicks through to page 2 and 3. So why is that? We've just looked at their website and we've said that the content on their website is matching the user intent. So what gives? Why is that website not appearing on Google? Well, the answer to that is if we scroll back up, you'll see here the website has 0 page authority and 0 backlinks. Now, page authority is, to dumb it down, a symptom of, or low page authority is a symptom of having no backlinks. Backlinks to a website just means a link pointing to your website. Now, the way I think of it, it's kind of like signposting for Google. You could have an amazing restaurant, you could have like a 5-star restaurant which is absolutely stunning and the food is top notch, but if nobody knows it's there, then nobody's coming in the door. Having no backlinks is a bit like being tucked down a back alley with no signage. Good quality link, that's like having a signpost pointing to your restaurant to let people know that you're there. So more backlinks equals higher domain authority, which means a higher Google ranking, which means higher monthly traffic, which means more sales and more money for you. It's very simplified, because not all backlinks are born equal. However, that's it in a sort of layman's term. In terms of the solution to that, there's a very simple solution. You start making content that matches the search intent, like we talked about in stage 2. And the next step to that is you build backlinks back to that content. And that's how you get your website ranking higher up Google, and that's how you get more traffic, and that's how you make more sales from your website. So we've talked about the 4 most common reasons why your website isn't appearing on Google. If you feel like you've checked all those boxes and you're still not appearing on Google when you should be, feel free to get in touch for a free SEO audit. I'll do a deep dive into your site and find out why you aren't ranking and provide you with a strategy on how to improve your results. If you want to read about this topic in more detail, you can check out the blog article, links in the description. In the next video in this series, I'm going to talk about some free ways which you can drive more traffic to your site.